The Palestinian situation was deteriorating very fast in the past few years, with continuous Israeli blockade against Gaza, with continuous assaults against the Palestinian people in Gaza, in West Bank, in Jerusalem, and also inside the Palestinian occupied territories of 1948. In addition, the Arab regimes in the region, they were normalizing their relations with Israel, especially the countries in the Gulf. And the Palestinian people were feeling more and more isolated due to these normalization processes. At the same time, there were also development in the talks regarding the nuclear deal between Iran and the USA. So the Palestinians were feeling more and more as if they are being left out, and the support that they had, the popular political and armed support that they have from the region, they felt that this was fading away. The Palestinian cause was not the main cause due to these events anymore. So the Palestinian resistance organizations most probably took their decision to start this initiative at this moment in order to re-put Palestine as the main cause of political developments in the region, to stop the normalization process, and to force the parties, the governments, and the political forces in the region to reconsider and reevaluate and put Palestine as a main cause, not as a card in other countries' negotiations in the region. We evaluate that Israel is now at a weak moment due to the development of the resistance movements in the region, in Palestine, in Lebanon, and in many countries across the region. They do not have the full capability and will to open several fronts at the same time. Nevertheless, if they feel that they are not able to achieve some victories in Gaza, they will resort to massacres, to mass killings, and so on. And this will provoke and will force other forces in the region to intervene in support of the Palestinian people. In this case, there is the possibility that a full-scale war or a wider war might erupt between Israel and Lebanon. For us, of course, we support the forces of resistance against Israel, and our party itself was part of the resistance during Israeli occupation and will be part of the resistance during any Israeli ground invasion in Lebanon if it happens. But everybody knows that the cost of such a war will be very high. We are not in a weak position anymore. The people of this region, they are fighting for their rights, and we think that this might be one of the factors that might deter or make the Israelis and behind them the American and NATO forces to think twice about broadening this war in the region. In Lebanon, there is a wide spectrum of forces, of political parties from different ideological backgrounds who consider that they will be involved in the fight against Israeli aggressions against Lebanon. Our party has a long history of resistance, and our party is still part of the resistance. In fact, we already have plans, we already have urgency plans. First, to support the people of Lebanon who might be affected by the aggression, refugees who might be forced to leave their houses, to be able to support them and to give them proper housing, proper life in case of war. And second, to be persistent and fighting inside the villages of the south in case there is any Israeli advance over there. We have been suffering from a deep economic collapse since 4 years until now, and we put the whole responsibility on the ruling parties of Lebanon that have governed the country in the past 3 decades, and on the structure of our sectarian capitalist system itself. It's a system that is not able to provide the Lebanese people with any of their needs. It's a system which left the Lebanese people now with no health coverage, with no pensions, left the Lebanese people with a devaluating currency which has lost 95% of its value. The purchasing power is also collapsing. The immigration is at one of its highest levels since long time. All of the Lebanese youth are immigrating away. We are suffering from an economic, a political, and also a social crisis in the country. We think that the costs of a war will be really high on the Lebanese people, especially in this situation. Nevertheless, we will not surrender due to political and economic problems at this stage anymore. We will fight for our freedom. We want to have a free Lebanon, we want to have a sovereign Lebanon, and the Lebanese people will struggle inside Lebanon to make changes in the current political regime against those ruling forces. So we are having a battle on 2 fronts: against occupation, against foreign interventions, against the enemies who want to attack our country, but also inside our country against the ruling parties and the current sectarian regime in Lebanon.